Hello, hi, this is Rani Ahmed with you, and this is lesson 18, how to program TCL on Cisco routers. Now, in this lesson, I'm going to talk about two new things. The first thing is a command that's very special to the Cisco routers and to TCL. Okay, this is, you won't see it on TCL commands for the desktop. Okay, it's called the iOS_config. Okay, and the other thing is the little bit advanced step in using foreach. Now, let's go to the command. Okay, so the code that we start with two lists. Okay, here, and the aim in this program is just to define the host versus IP table. Okay, those are the hosts, not the host name of your router. Therefore, because we need to do this, we have to go to config terminal. Okay, and we have to do something like this IP versus its host. Okay, using the two lists here. Okay, so the isconfig command is the one that allows me from TCL to get into the configure terminal mode. Okay, so instead of typing some command to, because there is a one, okay, but I'm saying instead of typing that command just to do a config terminal and then do every command in the config terminal, no, you can just simply use the isconfig. Isconfig is better. Okay, so and you don't have to type configure terminal, it just gets in directly to the configure terminal. Good. So I have added in the topology here gigabit Ethernet device. Okay, like 1000 megabit Ethernet card, and I just connected it to a switch just to turn it on. Nothing much. I don't want to define any router here and configure a new router. It does not need that. Just a connection. So just the link there. So go back to the code, and here you notice that I'm just issuing normal commands to define the G2, the gigabit Ethernet device. Okay, so just as you see, it's just normal Cisco commands like interface. I'm calling the interface G2. Okay, over 0. Then this is its IP. Because it's not mask, and this is the shutdown. Okay, I'm not saying to it to shut down, I'm making it turned on. Now, if we notice, okay, the way that foreach is now is written, it's using two lists here. Okay, and two variables at the same time. So I have IP versus IP list, and then I'm saying hosts versus host names. If we look at the previous lessons, okay, look what we had. We just had one variable versus its list, and this is normal. Of course, I'm just iterating on one list, and I'm using its iteration variable. Okay, and if I wanted, I would have done like another for loop inside this and just did it. Okay, if I want to do something to the host names here, but here is something different. Here I'm doing things in parallel. What I'm doing is just pass this variable, this list variable. Okay, and this is its iteration variable. Okay, and at the same time as you're doing this, okay, do similarly for the host names. So I do the list of host names versus its host. Okay, and then I do the iteration. Okay, so isconfig will help me, okay, through the variables IP and host, okay, to build the command IP host of the host name versus its IP. So host 1 versus this IP, host 2 versus this IP, host 5 versus this IP. Cool. So instead of me typing the or writing the IP host command so many times in the config T for a very big list, I can just use the IP list command. Cool. And the host names list. Okay, it would have been easier if I used this way. Okay, or it is easier. It's not what I've been. So let's test this code. Okay, let's go back here, enable. Okay, and then I can go to tcl.sh. Okay, from TFTP directly. Okay, 192.168.122.1 / Cisco / lesson 18 ISO iOS config .tcl. Okay, so look what happened. Okay, so I'm defining one by one. I'm just printing out the host versus IP. See, it's printing here each time. Okay, and I'm just making a delay just for you to see that the loop is working for real. Okay, now if we want to see the hosts table, just simply show hosts. Okay, and see, now it's defined. So I'm automatically defining host 1 versus this one. Okay, and so on. This is until the fifth host. Okay, so I can have a very big list and simply just write the list data inside here, and it will be very easy for me just to execute it and build the hosts or the show hosts command table. Okay, so thanks for watching. That's all about foreach and iOS config, and I always urge you to use iOS config when you have this huge kind of configurations. Thanks for watching.